What does a baddie mean to me?
They show up better, you help the people around you.
Think big, but you don't think big sitting in the corner of your house expecting a lot to open.
First step to being a baddie is the
Welcome back to Kazouza Hamra. I'm your host, Nora. Tonight's panel is all about embracing your inner baddie. And no, we're not just talking about looks. Being a baddie is about confidence, self-care, growth, and showing up as the best version of yourself. Whether you identify with Arab culture or not, this conversation is for every woman looking to step into her power. Joining us tonight is Dr. Raynne Aboud, helping women feel confident through aesthetics and wellness. Nilly, the founder of the Baddie Club, empowering women through lymphatic wellness and body care. And of course, my girl Hanen, bringing her perspective on confidence, identity, and authenticity. Ladies, welcome. I want to get into the first question tonight, and that is, what does a baddie mean to you? Who would like to start?
What does a baddie mean to me? I know everyone thinks a baddie is like the way you look, right? Like, oh, you know, I have a tiny waist, I got my curves, I'm wearing these tight clothes. No. A baddie to me means owning your superpower. Every woman is born with it. It's that inner, sexy, confident self, like, I got this. And that comes in so many different pictures. You could be the woman that gets up every morning at 5 a.m. to pack your kids' lunches, drop them off at school, go work, pick them up after school, do their homework, feed your husband, take care of your husband, because we all know they're babies. We all know they're babies.
I love that. It's so funny. That's awesome.
And then you put your head down at night, and in the interim of all this, you did the grocery shopping, you cleaned the house. That is a true baddie. That's that
Absolutely.
baddie. And that's what most women don't realize, because they think that, oh, I'm a loser because I don't have a career. Oh, I don't have this. It's not about that.
Right.
The woman that has a career is a baddie in her own right. The woman that stays at home is a baddie in her own right. My old grandmother was a baddie in her own right. That woman could take care of anything and whip out any dish in 15 seconds, and she would still yell at everybody.
I love that. Okay. Who would like to go next? What does a baddie mean to you?
Hanen.
Go ahead, Dr. Raynne. It's okay.
I think a baddie is a girl or a woman who, you know, respects other women, right? And
I love that.
doesn't
Yeah, that's
hate,
important. Absolutely.
doesn't project, is not envious. You know, we're all on this journey, and we all have, you know, things that we love to do, whether, like you said, we're stay at home or we're chasing a career or whatever you're doing in your life, you know, showing up in a nice way, confident.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, embracing yourself, embracing your flaws. Not everything has to be, you know, what society wants it to be. As long as you're happy in your own skin, and that's what being a baddie is.
I love that.
I agree.
That's so true. Yeah. And there's so much room for women to support each other.
Yes,
I feel like
absolutely.
we could do so much better if we actually truly supported itself. You know, being in a cosmetic business, you have like everyone is in competition with one another, but the truth is there's space for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and the real ones want to get the message out. You know, there's only so much that the Baddie Club can do, right? There's only so much that your practice can take.
Absolutely.
We all have to, but if...
Like there's room for all of us to eat, essentially. Absolutely.
There's room for all of us. I support anyone and everyone. I'll tell you guys a little story later about how much I support like anyone in the industry. I have new massage therapists that reach out to me, and I'm like, no, come in, we'll teach you, we'll train you, and go do whatever you want to do.
I love that.
And someone said to me, you know, you're training your competition. I said, absolutely not. I'm training someone whose story will be with me forever, because if that person will always say, listen, if you're close to here, go, because I trust these people.
Yeah. Just that reframing, the way you reframe that, it's awesome.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah.
And I guess it just piggyback on what all you ladies said, like just pouring back into yourself, you know, choosing you, just always just making a decision for yourself and just investing in like who you are and who you want to be. Just learn more every day, learn more about other women. If you can help others, just always, you know, choose to have that helping hand.
Yeah.
I think that's what a baddie is, helping other women.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Well, I think for me, when I think baddie, I think you are definitely authentic as fuck.
Yeah.
And you are unapologetic about it. And yes, you're there to support and uplift other people. It's not just about you. You realize that it's about the community that you're in. And especially here as Middle Eastern women, we have so much to contribute, and we only just took the time to value each other and uplift one another instead of just constantly being, well, I don't say that constantly because a lot of us, the majority of us do support each other, but we do have people in the community that are always going to be envious and jealous and like, why her and not me? Or, you know, or put somebody down, like, oh, whatever she's doing, or
even worse, they talk you down because of that envy. They displace it into bad mouthing you and now making you seem like you're doing, instead of saying, you know what, why do I feel this way? It takes a lot of self-reflection.
Absolutely, yes.
Something we're
reflecting
missing.
on why is it I could be feeling this.
If I feel this
what am
way,
I lacking?
What am I lacking? What do I need to do? If I see someone that is in great shape, like, okay, maybe I need to go to the gym. It's not that person's fault that they're in great shape, or just saying, you know what, if I had a husband that took care of me all day long and I would have time to go to the gym too. No, it's how you prioritize your time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Absolutely.
Things grow where you water it.
Right,
it doesn't just
absolutely.
grow out of nowhere. You can't grow a flower in a dry land. So if looking good is important to you, you are going to take care of yourself. Yes. You are going to go to the gym. You are going to go see Dr. Raynne.
Or to the body club, get lymphatic drainage.
Women supporting one another.
Well, I do want to
absolutely
add
love
into
that.
that because I do feel like, obviously, as Middle Eastern women, we definitely value how we look, right?
Absolutely.
But you also have, it's like we're two extremes almost. We have the people who care a lot about how they look, and then some people who just don't take care of themselves, like women who are maybe, I don't know, they have 4 kids, 5 kids, and they're just like, it's okay,
That
maybe
breaks my
someday.
heart. Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
But you can't blame them though, because I feel like
I'm not blaming anybody.
No, I know, but like I feel like I was that woman, and now when I look at married women, because I'm not married anymore, I'm like, just pour back into yourself. You know, choose.
Right.
Wake up just 30 minutes earlier. You know, go brush your teeth, do your skincare, drink your
brush your
coffee.
teeth.
No, seriously, because sometimes I wake up and I can't brush my teeth that quick because I have to go rush out and take the kids to school.
Yeah.
No, I'm
brush
so
your teeth.
serious. It's I know such a little like you know.
But our understanding is that the basic needs should be done. Like, you're definitely showering.
Take care of
Listen,
yourself.
you'd be surprised.
I'm telling you,
You'd be
I'm telling you, it's
surprised.
hard.
Some
Especially when you go
women-
through postpartum.
Yeah, like if you're
No, that
running
is
out
true, that
taking
is
the
true.
kids.
Everyone prioritizes different things in their life, and you know, it's also the habits that you build, right?
Yeah.
Like some women are just those 5 a.m. I'm not one of those. My first patient I see at 11 o'clock. I prioritize my sleep because to me, beauty is sleep. You have to have good quality sleep. That's another thing about aging, right?
Yeah.
In order to feel energized. But for others, maybe not. But for me, it is. So I know in order for me to show up, and I need to have my rest, and I need to start my day a little later. But some people can start earlier, hit the gym, do all these things. I'm not one of those. So everybody, you know, listen to your body, but obviously, you know, prioritize the things that are going to make you happy, whether that's getting a massage, getting a facial, getting your Botox done, whatever that is to you. And there's no wrong answer here. Like if you're happy with doing none of that,
That's
good for you, right?
It's a journey, 100%.
Yeah. But we shouldn't shame the people that do
it,
prioritize it,
absolutely.
okay? Because I see
No,
a lot
absolutely.
of that.
I see that a lot
as
too.
Arab women. Oh, look at her. What does she have? What does she worry about? She has no worries. Oh,
مهتمة بس بحالها
why?
not anyone
Why
else.
is that? Why?
Relax, when you pour into yourself and you take care of
show up
yourself,
better.
you show up better. You help the people around you better. Like you're better in general.
When you feel good, you do good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that goes with everything. Like that goes in everything. One of the hardest things I think as Middle Eastern women that we struggle with is that the expectation of perfection is always on us. And I don't know how you ladies feel about it.
Was a taboo almost, like they don't,
It's like but even in non-Middle Eastern people, because I feel like this culture has really highlighted the Middle Eastern community as a certain level of luxury, as a certain level of like, you know, it's almost like you're frowned upon if you don't meet this level of like, oh, you know, like they're
Arab
rich
money
or
or whatever.
Arab money.
getting the Arab money. You want to get flagged for the song? Sorry.
So it's like you get, you know, like, and that's so hard to deal with. Like
maintain.
It's very hard to maintain. Like you almost feel like you never find your true self.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't just fly under the radar when I want to. You want people always stop and like ask, oh, aren't you so-and-so? Like we stand out because our eyebrows are too thick. Our hair is too dark, you know?
Right. Well, we just had a session prior to this, and we were talking about the whole eyebrow thing. Like I talked about how growing up here in the States, because I was always like never Arab enough, but I was also never American enough. So I was always kind of like somewhere in the middle. But the aesthetics of like how I looked, I'm clearly a very Middle Eastern looking woman, but my thick eyebrows were not cool. So I like used to wax them to make them as thin as possible and kind of like take parts of myself away where I'm like, there's nothing really wrong with my eyebrow. Or if you had a unibrow.
But also don't forget that beauty norms are changing over the years, right? That was, the normal thing back then to have thinner eyebrows. Now we're embracing more, thicker eyebrows. But it's important to hold true to yourself and what you like, right? Not just what the trend is saying or do this, do that, or whatever we see on social media. Like, do what suits your face. Do what suits. Do when you look in the mirror, you like what you see. That's the most important thing. My opinion doesn't matter, even if I'm an aesthetics provider, right? If you don't see that problem, okay, then no need to fix it, right? Or no need to address it.
I guess now for the audience at home, if they're sitting, on the couch and they're just like, I don't know, I want to change something. I want to be a baddie. What would we say are the steps to get you started? Like, what should you be doing right off the bat? I mean, we know brushing your teeth, obviously. You're brushing your teeth,
I
obviously.
don't mean like that.
No, I love that. I think it's so cute that you said that. Like,
it's true. I feel
like
a lot of
brush your
moms
teeth.
go through that, especially through postpartum.
Absolutely.
But I want to get into, obviously, it's really important to do these sort of things. Like we talked about the
first step.
What was it? PFP?
PRP?
PRP, sorry, PRP.
The first step to being a baddie is the internal factor. Leave the external to the second part. It's how you feel on the inside, right?
Yes.
The external part helps you, right? It helps you when you look in the mirror and you like what you see and you feel confident, absolutely. But if we're only addressing external things, we're not fixing the main issue, right? Main issue is internal. How do I feel about myself? How do I want to show up in the world? These things. First, you got to heal that part, and then we can help you.
Well, what would the internal work look like? Like, what should a baddie start working with? We mentioned internal first, right?
Yes.
So what is important with the internal work? Is it you read? Is it you get educated?
No, honestly, the best exercise, and I've done this personally, where you just stand in front of the mirror, alone in your raw self, and you look at yourself like, who am I? Who am I? I'm Nillifer. I'm a mother. And it's funny because psychologically, and you would probably agree with this, you teach AP psychology, right? You would get like in your head, the first word that comes to your mind within the first 3 seconds is your true answer to yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So like the first thing, like, who am I? And I prioritize, like the first thing that comes to my head immediately is I'm a mother because my children are at the center of my life. I value them. I care about them. Then who am I? I'm a healthcare practitioner because I love my career, and I love my career not because of all the opportunities it has afforded me, but also because of how hard I had to work to get there, how many people I had to prove wrong. In that process with, like newly being married, who's not supporting you, how many events I missed. That was like a big thing, right? Like in our communities, we're expected to show up to everything. If you don't, people take it personal. There is no such thing as respectfully declining. Yes. We don't even put that on our RSVPs. It's like, no, you're invited, true. You're expected to be there. Right. And I'm like, but I can't, I have an exam. So I wouldn't show up. And then the arguments between my husband saying, well, I have to go, but we really don't have to go. That causes that divide. And it was years of not knowing who you are. So I would say if anyone wants to reflect and find out who you are and how do you start your journey on being a baddie, look in the mirror. Who are you? What is your name? What values do you have? What do you expect to achieve? Once you know that, absolutely. Nothing on the outside.
Building a skill set, reflecting. Like, I'm a big believer in journaling. I was always like just raised to journal. That's great. Like, sit down with your thoughts, see what it is that pops into your mind, ask yourself a question, and reflect on it.
Right. Yeah. It's very important. Absolutely.
Now, if they've done the internal work, because I really want to get into the lymphatic massage. I want to go back into the PRPs and talk about the peptides because I am just so interested in all that stuff. Because obviously I'm booking with both of you guys after tonight. I'm getting also certified to start giving injections. But obviously, so if I come to get lymphatic massage, I'm a mom, I struggle with my weight. Now, what are some things that, like many other women struggle with their weight too, whether they're a mom or not? What are some things that you think we can benefit from coming in to get a lymphatic massage? Because I used to always believe that lymphatic massage was only done if you had some sort of surgery. not necessarily that it can be part of your self-care and wellness journey.
100%. That's like probably the most common misconception. And I always educate people. So coming to me, and everyone, all my clients who watch this, who see this, Hanen, like will tell you, I get to know you as a person. And I tell everyone, you are absolutely beautiful. We all need support, whether it's internal or external. This is a supportive therapy. This is a complemental therapy. This is in addition to you knowing that you are beautiful. You're starting off, everything. Like myself personally, I have a lot of gratitude. Every morning I wake up and I express gratitude to my creator for just the fact that I'm breathing. Like if you actually understood how much work goes inside of you for every breath to come out, for that gas exchange to happen, that in itself, for you to move your hands, how many nerves you have to pass through to move your hands and your fingers, that to me is like the biggest blessing ever. I love just that. Having gratitude and showing up for yourself. And I tell them, listen, you're already more than halfway there. You are here because you noticed you were having a problem and you chose yourself.
Right.
You chose to show up for yourself.
I love
you are
that.
here to feel better.
Yes.
And they always they're like, okay, wow, honestly, I have all my clients know we become very close friends. There's tears, there's hugs. They all, they call me for personal problems, and I love that. I love the fact that I can sit and I know how many kids one has, which argument they got with their husband, and what are we going to talk about next week?
You have all the tea.
I need the updates. I need to know what
I got all the updates. I have the diary.
I know. And sometimes, if they're on vacation, I'm like, no, I really need to know, what's going on.
Well, I think a lot of people, maybe they may not have that outlet. So when they're coming to you guys, it's like the only time maybe someone's hearing them out. Like,
absolutely.
Like they're getting a massage, like, oh my God, this is what I went through and this is what I'm dealing with and I don't know how to navigate that. And
absolutely.
it turns into this.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing. I think builds really good rapport with the person in front of you. And, when it's genuine, like if you're genuine, people know that.
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
see it. Like,
you vibe.
As business owners, we're not looking at them as a dollar sign. We really care about them as people,
absolutely.
and they become a part of our lives too, because we're seeing them so often. So, I love to catch up with my patients. Like, hey, what happened with that guy that you were dating?
I'll tell you,
and it's really, and I don't think a lot of people have that ability. So when you have it, right, you can understand that, and you own a business, I think it goes,
that's really what makes you stand out.
Makes you stand out and makes people trust you. And like I said, it's coming from a genuine place, so people appreciate that and they come back.
They come back. You know what? My favorite thing, it's personally, quietly, when someone goes somewhere else, I get so happy because 100% of the time
they'll come
they
back.
always come back.
Same.
And they say whether it was the energy, whether it was it just didn't vibe with me. I tell everyone, people call me and they want to purchase, oh my gosh, I'm doing my body and I want to purchase this, and this. No, Habibti. We're not doing all that. I want you to come in. Yeah, we're not.
It's like you tell them enough is enough.
We're not doing all that. I want you to come in. First, I want you to see if this aligns with you.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not here to take your money. We will all be blessed. There's enough to go around for everybody. But if it doesn't vibe with you, you will never, ever see the benefits that I want you to see.
Right.
If you come in upset, or it could be as simple as the interior design. You don't like the way my room looks. Some people, because I'm out of a studio at one of these salon suites.
Oh, okay.
I don't have my brick and mortar store yet. So you come in and that might not align with you. You might be used to going into very fancy buildings and doing that. And I'm like, I want it to be right for you. I want you to feel like my goal for every client is when you come in to say, you know what, I could have spent that money anywhere. I'm so happy I did it here and I can't wait to come back.
Absolutely.
Can you speak more to the lymphatic massage and 100%. What it is, what are you draining exactly and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I know everyone hears a drain and they think that it's like physically you're opening things up and you're draining it out. No, so we all have a lymphatic system. We're all born with it from the time of birth. And our lymphatic system moves with us. So as you move, it's supposed to move. People that are active, they have the upper hand because they are in better shape. They do move their fluids around. They don't experience the bloating or the fatigue or the swelling.
Interesting.
Yeah, as much as people that don't do it.
But here's
But here's the caveat, that activity for what we were created for, what we used to do versus what we're doing now is completely different. So even our most active person is considered sedentary when you compare them to our counterparts from 60, 70, 80 years ago. And that's just short history. We're not even talking long history. So human beings, since the beginning of time, we were meant to be mobile. We're meant to hunt for food. We're gatherers. We're meant to go in. We're meant to work, crop, fields, movement. Like, think about all those things that people used to do. Even our family back home, they get up, they move, right? Everything is not at their hands. Like, and that no longer exists. Now, everyone from the time of birth, like, we're all focused on how can we take it easy? And that's like one of the other misconceptions about self-care. People think self-care means not working as hard. That's not what that means. Our bodies are meant to be challenged. So when I see my girls doing high rocks and triathlons, like, that's amazing. We're meant to do these things. We're meant to move. We're meant to run. Like, you know, obviously we weren't created to run and do sports, but we are created to move our bodies and survive. But now survival comes to our door in the form of DoorDash, in the form of Uber Eats, in the form of everything, even massages. People won't even leave their house to get that support. They want everything to come to them.
Convenience.
The convenience. I'm sure you get phone calls all the time. Can you come to me? Can you come, you know, do a Botox party? You know,
we don't do house. I don't do house calls.
Same thing. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, you need to get out of your environment to completely disconnect. Let's decant your stress. Like, let's not add. How are you going to decant when we're laying down in your dining room or in your bedroom, the place where all your stress comes from? The place where you're, and I'm not insinuating that people's homes
no, of course, but it's a big one, absolutely.
Like, but it, you know, you're there. It's, you know, like, you need to come in and decant. Sometimes
coming into the office,
changing your routine.
You know, a change of environment.
It's a part of the experience.
It's part of the experience, absolutely.
And everybody suffers from imposter syndrome. I think we all have it. It's something but it's not a bad thing. You know, like, you walk in, this is, you know, each and every one of us, this is not how we are in our homes, right? We don't sit, I'm trying to sit straight. I don't.
No, you're perfectly fine.
You know, like, you don't do that. So, like, we come in and we become, we have a different identity, right? We have a different identity. We're out here, and I want them to own this relaxed identity. You come in, so what does a lymphatic drainage do to you? We all, if you've ever gotten sick, your kids have gotten sick, you went in, the first thing your provider does is they feel your lymph nodes. Your lymph node is your gateway to your immunity. It is there to cleanse your body and protect you, to make sure that you don't get sick. It collects and collects and collects all day long. But something without a pump, it doesn't, like, where does it go? It just stays there. So the more that it collects and builds, the less likely you are to stay healthy. You get sicker. Let's say you get a virus that knocks you out, like everyone had COVID. Like, I personally had COVID. I had no symptoms. I was postpartum. My husband ended up in the hospital. So my immunity, because I've always worked on making sure that my immune system is strong. And everyone, yes, zinc will help you. Yes, elderberry will help you. You take that. But where is it going? If your natural built-in supportive system for your immunity is not working, is clogged, where is it going? It's your sewage system. You could have a beautiful $10 million home, but if your toilet pipes are clogged, it's still going to stink. It doesn't matter how clean it is, right? So you have to, like, that's what I'm like, you need that support. And it doesn't happen in one session. So my favorite line that I tell my clients is, I'm not magically installing a pump in your lymphatic system. So don't think that the silhouette that you get right after your session that's going to stay. You have to support it. It's a continuous, it's a wellness therapy that I would love to see everyone integrate into their routine, whether it's every week, whether it's every month. You know, I thank God it's a blessing to have all my clients obsessed with it, because I have to, like, turn clients away. They want to come every 3 days. I don't like to do them more than 72 hours. They have to have 72 hours in between sessions, because you don't want to overload your system, because you have chemicals, you have toxins that are releasing as your body is detoxifying naturally and getting rid of those chemicals and toxins. You don't want to keep adding to it and adding to it, because you could get sick. no one wants to leave a massage feeling sick. So for any of you that's ever had a deep tissue massage, sometimes you get sick after it, depending on how hard they
You feel sore.
Really?
You feel
Oh,
sore,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So tell us the benefits of the lymphatic drainage. Like I know you said it cleans out the toxins and all of that, but when do you see the major benefit of it? Like after how many sessions?
She's like, after
Oh, I
one
love
session,
that.
honey.
No, absolutely. So even after the first session, and I tell every client, it's like, you don't know what's different, but when you wake up the next day, something is different.
Feels
It's
different.
different.
Feel
for
lighter,
the positive.
probably.
So you feel lighter. And I always say, like, you know how we all wake up and we have that beautiful time right after our time of the month, and you feel light, and you get up out of bed and you're like, wow, my hormones are stable.
The
I'm
world
not
is
raging. It's like, it could be like the snowstorm of the century outside, but you feel like it's all sunrise.
that.
And you have that morning skinny feel. You feel like that for most of the day, unless you go in and you're eating like, a bunch of sodium infused food.
You know what just prompted a question that popped into my mind based on what you said when you're on your period. To both of you, do you recommend, like, if a woman is on her menstrual cycle, right? Do you recommend she gets like Botox, or do you recommend that she gets a lymphatic massage? And I guess we'll go to you.
I won't speak on the lymphatics. I'll leave that for her. But aesthetics treatment, it's obviously you're more sensitive if you're on your period, so you'll feel pain. Your pain receptors are, more sensitive.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I do have patients that come and they have their menstrual cycle, and they definitely feel things more. So, should you delay your appointment because of that? No, but keep.
So you'll still go with the service.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
still get it. Got
but
it.
take
Okay.
into
Good to know.
consideration, you'll feel it a little more.
Got it. It's good to
We'll
know. 'Cause
numb
I'm like,
you a
it's
little
interesting.
longer.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. Like, if I'm on my period, should I get this done?
That's a great question, because for us, it's like, I always tell, it's actually better if you do it during your period, because because you're massaging the abdomen, right? And you're cleansing everything out. So our period is a thickening of the uterine wall. So, and that's the blood shedding. So this kind of helps everything move along faster. It'll help your flow. You feel a lot better during it, but it's a comfort thing. So, people don't, it's a very compromising position.
Right.
You're wearing a disposable thong,
Well, is it painful, by the way? I mean, I guess Hanen, I think you've
First
been getting
time,
Lymphatics.
the first massage was painful.
Really, lymphatic
Yeah.
shouldn't be painful.
I mean, it's not lymphatic, because the
wood
venous is
therapy.
fine. The
Oh,
wood
wood
therapy,
therapy.
yeah.
There was a
Therapy.
thing a long
Yeah.
time ago, right? It was
So
like you
that
do it at home.
The
you're like,
venus,
this-
the venus feels good.
The venus,
Because you start
that's-
feeling everything.
Yeah, that's it's a machine built to help you with skin tightening, radio frequency, heat technology,
Cellulite, yeah.
Yeah, my cellulite has
reduction.
changed drastically.
Yeah,
Really?
My cellulite, you could, like, I'm already like pale, but my cellulite was like paler, right?
It helps pull the
Like
the
you barely
tethering.
see
Fat
it,
lines.
and my
Yep.
stomach is
Yeah.
so tight now.
Okay.
Like, because I had a C-section and I had a vaginal birth the first time. I have very saggy skin now. Like, my stomach is
Solid.
solid.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Laxity,
Okay.
I think the radio frequency helps the laxity, but the actual machine, the venous, because of the way that it pulls the tethering, because what happens is, cellulite is tethering, it's pulling down tissue, right? So with the machine, it's a suction. So it helps to lift that tethering. Now, obviously your diet and, affects
So
that.
is it possible for cellulite to actually be like gone?
Absolutely not.
No? It cannot.
No,
Everyone has cellulite.
It's lightened.
fat
Not
lines.
really
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid of it 100%, but you can
Really?
reduce the severity of it with your diet, with treatments like the venous, and drinking lots of water. If you're eating fatty foods and oils, they worsen your cellulite. So your diet definitely affects it. Your lifestyle affects it, but you can alleviate how severe the cellulite.
So when you lose
The
weight,
appearance of it, you could definitely,
Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like, you're fixing the appearance of cellulite, so it doesn't look as bad. And it's like,
bad,
yeah.
like the analogy I can give, like, during Ramadan, we all fast, right? And if you look at by the end of the day, you get dehydrated and your hands look older, right? Because they're like, there's no plumpness to it. It's almost like your
It's like
skin.
shriveled.
on
like you
bone.
can even
It's
pull
like
your skin.
shriveled.
That's why they could
Yeah,
tell when
you
you're
could
not
tent
fasting.
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you have that tenting, and I feel like you have old hands because we're not supporting our system. We're dehydrated, right? You don't drink anything. And even at night when we break our
Barely
fast,
drink.
you barely drink because you get full so fast. We all get that tiredness. We fall asleep. You don't wake up before Fajr to eat. Like, it's a lot. So you have to, and that's the problem. But the second Ramadan is over, we start drinking. We go back into our normal routine. we get back to
We get
where
life
are.
back to our hands.
We get life back to
I
it.
like a combo of treatments if people want to target cellulite. So definitely the Venus is, or that we call it the liposuction machine, because there's different brands. But also with that, if your cellulite is severe, you can actually get biostimulators injected, which I do a lot in my office. So I have a lot of patients who've had lipo before. They have some defects from the lipo, right? Where like from surgery, which could happen. We can also fill, it's also considered a cellulite or a dimple. So we fill that with biostimulators like Sculptra, hyperdilute radius, and they get really nice results.
Now, what is that process? Is it kind of the same as the other treatment where you spin the blood and everything and inject it back
These
in?
are biostimulators. So they stimulate your own collagen production, and they can give volume, right? So if you're doing the Venus machine, for example, you're helping remove some of the tethering, right? You're breaking up some of the tissue.
Right, to catch
But
more
we're
flow
not
in that
adding
area.
volume.
Yeah,
to it.
there you don't add volume with that, right? You break down some of the fat with the radio frequency, but also you still have that dimple that that happens, right? So what we do is we go in with a cannula, and I break up that tethering, right? So that's killing it from the source, the tissue that's being pulled down that creates the dimple at the surface.
Wow.
And then I inject the biostimulator. So I inject the Sculptra or the hyperdilute radius, and that stimulates the collagen. So they work together. So it's very nice treatment.
So fascinating.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's
it's again, there's no like, if you really, really have severe cellulite, yes, those treatments with this treatment can eradicate it.
Silly question, but what causes cellulite? Is it just like poor diet
Poor diet.
And sometimes, honestly, it's just
Genetics.
the way your fat falls
Yeah.
in your body. It's just the way, like, because we don't only have fat, right? We have muscle, we have fascia, we have tissue. There's multiple layers.
Right.
So all cellulite it's like a little fat bind that's pulling it down, not allowing it to like smooth out. So you get a little dimple at the top.
Right.
So like if you had, like for my girls that like to do DIY projects and stuff, like if you take tissue paper or even a napkin, you pull it through a ring, you get a dimple in the middle, right? That's why you get that openness. It's the same exact thing happens
Interesting, okay.
inside you. And it's not like, obviously, if you're sedentary, you're always eating processed food, you're not supporting your body, you're not moving, it's going to look worse because now you're adding fat on fat on fat, and it starts to break out of its form. So you get that lumpy, dumpy look, I call it. It's very lumpy.
Right.
But some people genetically, like for myself, I'm bottom heavy. That's where, like if I gain 5 pounds,
Store your
it goes
fat
on my
there.
legs, I store my fat there.
Absolutely.
And that's some people are abdominal heavy. So people that usually have a bigger midsection have the nicest, tightest legs. They have no dimples, no cellulite, or very minimal, because that's not where they hold their fat. It's more muscle.
Well, now in terms of where the fat lays, is that like a genetics thing? Like
Absolutely.
if I go,
Okay.
100%.
Genetics,
That's
yes.
all like the
Genetics.
when you were born, like, I can tell you my child from the day she was born, I can tell she was going to be very curvy. And one of them I knew was going to have a straight type body. Like, it's just it's just the way you were born.
You're born with where your fat composition sits most. So like she said, if your midsection is going to be where your fat stores the most, then you're born with that.
Interesting.
And absolutely, genetics has to do with that. Mom, dad.
I just always remember learning about like fat cells. I just remember reading that when you gain weight, they expand, and when you lose weight, they shrink, but you never actually lose them. And then they're always going to try to return back to baseline because they were experienced that overweight.
Yes.
So essentially, you have to work at having a good lifestyle
100%.
with the diet and weight management.
This
and
is
everything.
why girls that get liposuction with no change in lifestyle. So the first thing, like I always notice when my clients, and Dr. Ron, I'm sure you can agree, when clients come in, I know they haven't been working out or doing anything at all to maintain their results. Like, so for example, let's say you do liposuction on your back or your belly, but all of a sudden your shoulders start getting puffy, or you get like fat deposits around your knees.
Because it has nowhere to go, so it'll go
because it
somewhere
has nowhere to go.
else.
Like when you do liposuction, you kill the fat. Like you don't kill it. You literally remove it manually. Or you remove the fat cells that were in that area, but your body still thinks that it has storage for that amount of fat. So if your lifestyle doesn't change, it's going to go into places that you normally wouldn't have carried fat.
Interesting, yeah.
And then the last place that it comes back is the place that you had your liposuction. So I can always say, like, wait a second, you've been bad, now you're really bad. It's because it's coming back into your back, into your belly. So they always get like, and as a medical provider, I always try to educate them, because the first place that they displace their anger is, I had a bad surgeon, or he didn't do a good job. And it's actually like, and that could be true. In some instances it is. Like, I don't think every surgeon is a great surgeon. I think there's definitely, we have our good ones and bad ones. But it also is accountability.
Yes.
Right?
You have to maintain the weight that you went into the surgery with out of surgery. Any pound more than that is going to be placed somewhere else.
Giving you that botched
interesting,
look. Giving you that botched look.
And there's very important getting those lymphatic massages post lipo, because that's where you can develop fibrotic tissue. And that's where
tell me more about this.
something like this comes in, where the lymphatic massages help drain the fluids, because when we perform a liposuction surgery, we're infiltrating the area. Like, let's say we're doing your abdomen and back, we infiltrate it with a lot of fluid and lidocaine to numb the nerves, right? Because we're going to go in and suck that fat out with a huge stick, right? So essentially, coming out of surgery, you're holding on to a lot of that fluid that we infiltrated your tissue with. So the point of the lymphatic massages is to drain that fluid out, because if you leave it, it will become fibrotic, like lumps of tissue.
So with the fluid moving,
And then you'll blame your surgeon.
yeah, and it's not always right.
not
Like,
always
it's not
the
always
surgeon.
not
Well,
the
you're supposed to like
surgeon's
wear,
fault.
like if you do have lipo, you're supposed to wear a faja afterwards and like have it skin tight.
You want that compression. So what the
Compression,
faja
yeah.
does is, when you're compressing an area, you're forcing the fluid to move, right?
Absolutely.
You don't
Got
allow
it,
it to build up. So when you're doing, like Dr. Rana just said, like with the cannula, it's this big, right? They go in and they're cutting into the lymphatic pathways. So the lymphatic system is literally like these little, like soft, like sphere-like balls all over your system. They're connected with almost like grapes on a vine, right? They're connected through like these vines. And if you cut through them, the fluid in your body is still going to move where it thinks it can drain, where it thinks that it can collect.
Got it, okay.
But it stays there. Now now there is no lymph node to collect it, because
Right.
it was literally cut into, it was disrupted. So then it starts staying, and then coupled with scar tissue that's there. So the scar tissue is already hardening, because your body has to heal from the inside, right? So that's how you heal. That's how you get fibrosis. It almost looks like these little wave-like tunnels that go in, like, and you need to, like, and it's not, I always tell my clients, like, if you plan on doing liposuction or surgery, you need to start your massages before you even go in for your procedure, because you want to help your body, you want to
Interesting, okay.
support your body's lymphatic system. So that way, when it happens, your body's already used to being manually moved. The fluids are already used to it. So then they come in and we contour them. We tell them to wear a faja. If they have drains, we do drain care.
Right.
Because you want to. And a lot of people think that the drains are like, oh my God, the drains are causing me pain. No, actually, if your drains are putting out a lot of fluid, that would have stayed inside you. That's why we don't take the drains out immediately. We wait until they decrease significantly before they're taken out.
Now, let's just say somebody's getting a liposuction on their arms and they come to get a lymphatic massage prior to that. Are you focusing on the arm part, or are you like already kind of training the body to drain it in a different direction?
So you drain it in the same direction, because there's multiple lymph nodes. It's not just one lymph node in the area. So you have a cluster of lymph nodes in your axilla. You have, like, it goes up your
There's one
arm.
here,
It
right?
goes, in
I
your,
actually have
in
this
your
one.
thumb.
It's a little more swollen. It's been like that for years.
Really?
Are you gonna diagnose me? You're gonna tell me something crazy?
No.
The way she looked up, she's like, really? I was like, wait, what are you gonna tell me?
Probably
But no.
a little cystic.
Yeah, so what am I gonna do?
Fluid.
You're gonna come
Probably
take care of this?
fluid.
Do you guys want to like just
I'll see
take
you in my
care of
office.
it right now? Fix me up?
See you in my
No, but
office.
I've had this actually before I got pregnant, so it's been years. But I think I did get an ultrasound. They said it was fine.
Okay.
But they said it was the size of a quarter. I just remembered that
Cyst.
now. But I don't know why it's swollen. I don't know. But I did hear you can get a lymphatic facial.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That's what I've heard, like the dry brushing or something.
We do metal therapy. It feels amazing. We have over 300 lymph nodes in our head and neck alone.
Yep.
So that fluid has to move, like, especially because our face, we have so many muscles in our face and we're constantly moving them, causing that fluid buildup and retention and stress, right? our face holds our head, our skull. Everything we think about, everything we see, everything is connected. Every body part is connected to one another directly. So our face actually holds on to a lot of stress. So you want to move that. You want to decant all that stress and move it around. That's why we try to make it. It's a very relaxing therapy.
Well, now say I want to go to Dr. Raynne over here to get like fillers and Botox. I come see her. When do I go see you?
You're not seeing me until she clears you 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks
first, and then you come see
So
me.
I see you first, and then I come to you to become a baddie.
Yeah, because if she's putting fillers in your face, you don't want it to migrate, right? So with the pressure that we put on, because then that filler that she put over here might end up over here, and then you have a little, I don't want you looking crooked.
Well, want to be liable.
Going back, I just
and then you're gonna say my doctor was bad, my injector was bad, right?
Exactly.
Can you dissolve? Isn't it like you could dissolve?
Absolutely. We can dissolve hyaluronic acid products if it's hyaluronic acid. Biostimulators like Sculptra and hyperdilute radius, we can't dissolve.
Okay.
Because they're making your own collagen, so they're polylactic acid. But yeah, we can dissolve. Yeah, I mean,
That's so cool.
don't fear the filler, fear the injector. It's the filler.
I love that. Don't fear the filler, fear the injector.
Tools are bad. They're just in the wrong hands sometimes.
Got it.
So the injector technique, the skill, where am I placing the product is what makes the difference with your results. Because I have a lot of, recently a lot of videos came out with like, oh, migration and fillers are bad. They're not bad. I love fillers. I advocate for fillers when they're needed for specific cases. If you don't need them, then you don't need them.
And how often should like if somebody does get Botox and fillers, like are you following up every 3 months, every 6 months, or does it vary from person?
I don't like to put a time period because everybody's body is different. Okay. Some of my patients, their Botox lasts them 3 months. It depends on your lifestyle. Are you
and how your body metabolizes?
Smoking, drinking.
Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you work out? Lift weights? Your toxin will wear off a little bit sooner. Some of my patients, their Botox lasts 6 months. So it depends. When you're starting to see that movement happen again, come see me. Filler-wise, they market it as it lasts up to a year. But MRI scans in recent studies have proved that it can last up to 6 to 8 years. Oh, wow. Especially if you're getting large volumes of filler in one shot. Okay, so it's not about that. It's all about you, your metabolism.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Now, can lymphatic massage increase my metabolism or speed it up?
It does. Okay. It definitely, if it, I have clients that leave right away. Like it increases processes. I'm trying to say this the most feminine way without.
Listen.
No filter.
There's no filter. Be honest.
Let me speak to it. You're literally you go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah.
You are definitely, it
bowels.
stimulates your bowels. You're going, but your metabolism. So what I love to say about lymphatic drainage, just from personal experience, because I've been getting lymphatic drainage massages for 16 years. It's a therapy I swear by, obviously, which was the whole reason why the Body Club came to life. It's not that it increases or decreases your metabolism in any way. It's when you feel good on the inside, you naturally want to make better choices.
Right.
Yes.
So instead of after you have your lymphatic drainage massage, your body is not craving a salty fast food meal. Right. You just naturally want a light meal, whole foods. That's what your body is going to start craving, and you start making better choices. Yeah. And with those choices comes a faster metabolism, the clearer skin.
I like
because
that. I like that.
On top of that, you're spending the money, and
I would think that
you want to make a better decision.
Right. You're going to be more cognizant of your choices, right?
100%.
Exactly.
Commit to this. I need to do the care that comes with it. Yeah. Drink more water. Watch what I eat, right? Because as many massages as I get, if I'm going to just go have McDonald's after,
there's no way.
Then it's like you're just fooling yourself at that point.
Yeah. She's doing half the work. The other half is on you.
And it's the accountability piece. It's the accountability piece. We had this conversation or this part of it earlier when I said I don't magically install a pump in anyone. I'm not a magician. I can't, I'm not walking, holding your hand and telling you what to eat and not eat and what to do and not do, I'm telling you, you're here. You came to our door. I mean, for me, definitely, because I don't have a storefront. So it's by appointment only. So you really went out of your way to come to me.
Right. No, it makes
so
sense.
I would hope, we give them all the tools and
Make the right choices.
they make the right, like it's up to the client to make the right choices.
So I guess my takeaway is from what I'm hearing from both of you is obviously to be a baddie is you have to do the internal work first. You recognize things that you need to work on, and then start working on the exterior.
Yeah.
You come when you're doing these things. It's not magic. It's just a tool that you're using to help you get to your goal of being the best version of yourself, which is what we're terming as defining as a baddie.
100%.
Honestly, just speaking from experience, I'm not disciplined at all. Like I feel like once I like stress out, I just go binge eat. I feel like ever since I've just been like investing in myself and like speaking so highly about like lymphatic massages and just like, going for it. I'm like, what, I feel like this did keep me disciplined. Like now whenever I leave, I would not go buy something quick to eat. I'll go home and cook, or I'll see when my mom's cooking, make sure I'm eating something healthy. Like so I feel like the inner work did start when I just became more disciplined, more motivated. And I'm so proud of myself. Now I can go to the gym. Now I want to like save more money so I can like take care of my, like, do Botox fillers. It's just like, I feel like, so the inner work is very important.
I don't know if you guys know, but when I started Kazouza Hamra, my first guest was Hanen. And actually, I had the podcast already, but I didn't do anything with it. And it was like my students came to me who I had like the previous year, and they were talking. They just started talking to me like, Miss Terminini, there's this girl named Hanen. You should reach out to her. And I started following her. I was like, I really like what she's about. And she kind of put the wheels, put the fire under my butt and got this podcast started. And from when I met her from last year in August, right, to where she's been with everything she's been doing, it definitely has been a major
I have
transformation.
a question for you. Yes. Being that you've come into my office and you've had your first treatment, and then you also visit her body club. So how do you feel like as a patient perspective? What do you think like this has helped you with?
I think it just helped me just be more confident within. Like, I feel like I needed that push. I noticed like how genuine you both are, and like two beautiful women, educated, very successful, and like you could tell like when someone's like being real or not, or faking it. So I felt it.
You feel the
Dr.
vibe.
Raynne, like Dr. Raynne, I met her, I'm telling you, when I was 8, we were both like 18, 19 when we met each other. And then we were following each other on social media. Now we were both like in our early 30s, and I sat in her office and I'm on her chair. I'm like, I felt a little intimidated walking in. I'm like, mashallah, very successful. She's so beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, like who is this like beautiful? She's like a goddess. And then I sat next to her, and then she's just talking to me, and I'm just like babbling off. You know how I get sometimes. And she's just like listening to me, and I felt so confident. When I walked out, I'm like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to always come back, as much as I can. And same with Nil. Like me and Nil, we've known each other from family members. So Nil just make me like feel comfortable. We just click like randomly, right? Like on social media. But my cousin is married to her cousin's daughter.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know this was a connection. I love that.
And then we were just always like social media friends. And one day she told me like, hey, just come and, model for me, like do a facial.
Yeah, we were doing, when I was opening up the Baddie Club and we were doing content day, and we didn't have the studio yet. And I was like, you know what, we'll do it in my house, in my foyer. I was in the process of renovating my kitchen, so I had this big open space. The floors were done, the walls were done, but there was no cabinets, nothing. I was like, this is perfect. We'll do it
awesome.
here.
Okay, so it worked out.
And I wanted representation from every woman, from every walk of life, from everyone, because a lot of things, like you said, when we started this, you said you thought that only people that had surgery would get lymphatic drainage. And that is a true misconception that most people have, but a lot of businesses also sell it like to that point. Like if you look at places and it's always these sculpted bodies, like really bought bodies, women that spend a lot of money on these plastic surgery procedures and getting it done. But me coming from my background, having that passion for holistic health and healing and wellness, I wanted the woman like Hanen to come in and say, you know what, I need, like, this is for you too. You don't have to spend $100,000 on your body just to get this therapy. You have to take care of yourself too. You have to support your system too. And I was like, she wears the hijab. It's something good for everyone to see. And as a Middle Eastern woman, I know, like, I don't cover up and I don't wear the hijab, and that's totally fine. We're all here. But that doesn't make me any less spiritual or close to God, and that's okay. Like, I consider myself a devout believer as much as Hanen does, and that's totally okay. And I wanted more women like that to see that, you don't have to look like me or Dr. Rana or like you to come in and like we have to be off the beaten path and like it's not for modest women. No, this is taking care of yourself does not have a religion. It doesn't have a dress code. It doesn't have a
It's
price
about helping
tag.
you feel your best.
It doesn't have, and it's not about being married or being successful or having a rich husband. It's about you and only you.
How you
But
feel about
yeah.
yourself.
define,
Yeah.
But in our religion, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to pour back into ourselves, like and to take care of ourselves, you know, our health and our wealth and all that just comes together. But like I'm happy you guys have this platform because I really like when Noura was telling me like, you know, who we're inviting, I was like, these are the two perfect women to have because like I said, educated, mashallah, successful.
Hanun's my girl. She like scouts
humble.
people for me. I'm
Yeah, I'm
like,
like
"Go ahead,
scouting
girl."
people for her. I'm like, no, this is the right woman because I feel like other women don't see women like you guys.
Yeah.
You know, just kind and caring and like you could tell like, you know, I do want to help you. I do want to like take care of you, you know, like just, at least just be a friend.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm happy you guys have this platform where you guys are like, you know, showcasing your businesses, showcasing yourselves, and you get to show women that it's okay if you need that extra push, extra help. So
But you know what, Hanun, I want to like comment on something for you. I think it's so important for us, like women that have a passion for social media and becoming influencers like you, to really bridge that gap. Right. And, you know, because that's something that I know like seems so taboo in our community.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a beautiful thing. You're doing what hip hop did to the Black culture 30 years ago. It was meant to
Inshallah.
transform and give education. You're
love
doing
that.
exactly that.
Yeah.
You are giving a voice to the voiceless.
Yes.
You are that woman that's sitting down, that's constantly being degraded by those around her, that feels like she lost herself because I had 5 kids or I'm divorced, I'm worthless. And this is the harsh truth, right?
Yeah.
Our communities directly tie our worth to who our husband is, what our house looks like, how much money we have, the handbag that we're carrying. They forget that you are a person.
yeah.
You
I
are
get called
inside a
used goods
person.
every single day. Like men commenting on my post, like, oh, like who are you? Like used goods, like no one's
You're
gonna
just
look at
being
you.
shamers.
Women too.
Yeah,
Women,
because
women say that too.
You're enlightening females and you're sharing your experience. Unfortunately, the experience you had, you know, you're just sharing what happened to you. So a lot of men don't want to hear things like that.
And
right?
women too.
You're basically putting on a light bulb
Yeah.
for the people that are the other women that are listening to you. So, you know, you stay true to yourself. Remember, internal is very important, right?
Yeah,
and how
definitely.
you know how you show up. And I love your platform, and you know I'm a big supporter of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I love the message you share and the realness,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because you know a lot of the influencers you follow on social media, you know, they're pushing a bag, and there's no shame on that. I
Yeah.
follow them,
No, I know,
you
but
know,
it's-
for
Yeah.
fashion advice.
It's more like aspirational
Right.
life rather than real
Right.
life and like what's
Right.
happening.
I
Like,
feel like some
Exactly.
people
But
do that, but I feel like this is so important.
This
It's
is
so
this
important
is
for
very
our
important,
communities.
especially for our community. You know, that you're not afraid to speak up and share. Like, this is what happened. Be careful. Do this. Do that. And you know, everybody on social media wants to look. They want to give their highlight reel, but nobody sees what happens
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
always tell people that. Because I started so young, and I also got a lot of you know, like what does she know and all this stuff. Like I was bullied. I was 21 when I started my business. I was not even a doctor yet. So I faced a lot of that, right? Yeah. But like I didn't have the guts to, you know, get on and speak about it. I didn't really get into social media till like 4 or 5 years ago because I needed it for the business. That's what would make it succeed.
Yeah.
That was going to be the voice. But I'm so proud of you because you're able to, you know, just speak up. Like I love that, and I really, really, really support it.
You're unapologetically
Yeah,
yourself. I
exactly.
feel like
I love that.
in the
She's authentic,
process-
absolutely.
Yeah, in the process of like where you lost yourself, you also found yourself. And every day, like I love that you own up to, you know, like if you make a mistake, you have no problem coming in and speaking about it. And I can attest to this personally, and I can speak to it as
make her cry. She's gonna start crying.
She does-
soon,
no, it's the truth, and I've told Hanun this in the past. Like I get a lot of clients, a lot of my Middle Eastern clients. They come because they follow Hanun, and they come to me, and they're all their stories. And I think just recently, I told Hanun, I said, you know, at some point, you develop a moral responsibility. It doesn't become about, and this is how I feel being in the healthcare world, right? Like I have a full-time career, I work, I have so many people that rely on me to do my best to always show up because I represent them. And that is like at this stage in my career and in my life, it's not about the financial gain of having this job or
absolutely.
It's about the moral responsibility. You know, like you are responsible not only to yourself but to every single person. Like Hanen, I know, has 22,000 followers. Like that's 22,000 people from around the world.
Millions and millions of views.
Yes, but that's like you go in and
Amazing.
Even if you impact one person in a positive light, I believe that there's so much like blessings to come your way just for doing that. You know, like it makes you a wonderful mom.
And I feel like that's what people don't really see. I don't share too much what I do, like behind the scenes, but like I'm always like, my mom always was like, why are you helping people? You need to help yourself. Like I feel like when I help people, that's when like Allah's gonna help me. And if He doesn't help me like monetary, He brings people. I feel like after like the divorce, I was just talking about this today on TikTok. I was saying like Allah blessed me. Like if he doesn't bless me with money in this dunya, He blesses me with like amazing people. Yeah. And I feel like that itself is a form of rizq, which is a form of wealth.
Honestly, it's more important.
I have never met such, and I was talking about you guys because because I was like thinking about the podcast tonight, and I was with the mayor's wife earlier, like we were canvassing for a community event. And I was just like thinking, like, you know what? Even if Allah doesn't give me money in this dunya and I die tomorrow, at least He gave me good people after like my divorce, like good women, like genuine good women that actually care about me. And I told myself, once I make it, like those women, whatever I have, I'm gonna give them. Like
your network is your net worth. So
but like
sometimes that's more important than monetary.
And I'm
things.
like, I'm thankful. Like
you're doing great. You're doing amazing. I see
keep
all
on
you
it.
do, and
Go
good
on.
for you.
You know what's one thing that resonated with me? So I had a Bodies in Brunch event for the Baddie Club a couple of weeks ago, and one of the speakers, she said something so important, and she was like, everyone wants a village, but most don't know how to be a villager.
Right.
Oh,
And
I love
that
that.
is so important because it's so true, right? Yeah. Everyone wants to be with the pretty clique and the group and the nice car, but they don't want to put the work in and the struggle and the sweat. And I know both you and I can attest to this. No one sees behind the scenes. Like for me, my biggest thing that keeps me awake at night is not having a calendar booked, like because my true north was never money. The Baddie Club did not come out for a financial need. It came out of like, it's a passion for me. It's I want to inform and get the word out to as many people as possible. So in that, I will never fail because I've already accomplished what I wanted to do.
I love that.
But when I get a client that has a complaint, and it could be anything, it could be, I came in and the music was too loud or the room was too cold or anything, that's like my biggest and I don't think anyone will understand that except a small business owner. Like you work so hard to try to keep everyone happy. And then it's like it just no one sees all the struggle. Or sometimes like you have your administrative assistant that makes a mistake and double books your calendar, and you're like, oh my God, and you're trying to fit, and everyone, but I feel a personal responsibility. I'm like, no, I want you to come in. You carved out time for this. You were looking forward to this. You were thinking about this. Yeah. You feel really good.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think people understand the behind the scenes. Like, I started young. I didn't know anything. Like I had to build it brick by brick, and
absolutely.
Through sweat and tears,
mistakes. You don't know my story, but I was 21 when I started, and I took my dad's money. Like that's a liability on its own, right? And I had to prove something to myself, not really to him, but in a way, yes, to him, right? Mm-hmm. But the worst thing was all the naysayers and all the people that I grew up with that couldn't comprehend that I was this girl, right? And now I'm somebody with a name, and I got bashed so badly.
How'd you get past it?
Just inner. I would look in the mirror, like what she said. It's like,
you gotta keep your eye on the prize.
I don't care. I know what I want. I know who I am, and my parents came to this country to give us a better life, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get that. Like that's what I was put here for. Personally, that was my personal goal, right? But yeah, it's not easy, and people look at me now, and I know they get intimidated. I see it in their eyes. I at this point in my career, because I work with women so much every single day in my life, I can read someone so easily.
The vibe is so
the body
quick.
language, the eyes, what they're looking at. They look at the car I drive, or the bag I have, or the clothes I wear.
The body never lies.
That's
all of
you.
that. But that's not me.
No
These are things that came after. you know, after, because of whatever it is, because of the things I like. But yes, they get intimidated and they do define me sometimes with that. But I love that you said that when you came in and you met me. I'm not that person.
No, but you're so right, because a lot, and this is the problem with society and not just Middle Eastern culture. I think with social media, it made it so easily accessible to see all these designer things. And I have a personal, like, funny story. Many years ago, way before Instagram, I remember Kim Kardashian was at an event and I fell in love with her shoes. I was like, those shoes are so cool. They're studded.
I want them.
So I went out and I was literally, like, my Google searches on my laptop was studded, like pointy toe heel. And I came across Valentino, and I bought my first pair of Valentinos that I never even took out. I did not wear. No one even knew what they were, right? This was a time where people thought spending a couple of $100s on a pair of shoes was a lot of money. And then all of a sudden, social media comes in, and now people are literally working, their whole lives are revolved around brand names. And that's not what life is about.
That's not what life is about.
At all.
Absolutely
It's like
not.
What life really is about is you have to work to your standard. I don't work for a handbag. I don't work for a pair of shoes. I don't work for clothes. I work because it's my passion. And if my passion brings in the revenue that allows me to upgrade my lifestyle, because then it becomes your minimum, right? Like, if you're used to healthy, organic eating, that's your minimum, and you have to be able to afford it. I don't expect someone that can't pay their rent to go spend twice their rent money on organic food, right? That's not your standard. That's not your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You have to go with that, and that's where the misconception is that people see someone like her lifestyle did not, at 21 years old, it didn't start with this, and we all know this. We're all Middle Eastern. I would rather borrow from anyone than my parents. God bless you. I don't know.
Well, I grew up in a very privileged home. I was very lucky for that, but I could have came out in a different way.
Very spoiled.
I
and
could have came
bratty.
out spoiled, relying on my father. I don't need to work. I don't need to do all of that. I went to school. I put myself through schooling, and I opened a business, and I didn't let that define me. But what I say is that I've always had that. I never went into this field or because of the money, the financial gains. I always had privilege, and I thank God for that. But that comes with it. What I was chasing was the freedom, never the money.
Yeah.
The freedom to have my time how I want it.
I love that.
You know,
That's why you get to go to work at 11 o'clock and do your thing.
Exactly.
That's freedom,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's the freedom.
peace.
Yeah, the freedom to be able to travel with my family when I want and not have to be bound by a 9 to 5. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but everybody has
Their own
different
thing.
goals.
Yeah, of course.
And so I never chased the money. I never chased. I've had all of that. That was an addition. It came back. It came later, but you know, people.
This is in one of our hadiths. As Muslim women, we all know that you should always think big. Think big, but you don't think big sitting in the corner of your house expecting Allah to open the ceiling.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and throw it at
saying.
your
Yeah,
head,
Yeah, be
right?
delusional.
Yes,
Yes,
said it
like
in
Allah
Allah
Arabic,
gave you
but
all
yeah.
these tools. You got to use them.
You have
to your
to think
advantage.
big, but
Yeah.
you have
Seek
to
so I
work
can-
for it, right?
Yeah.
All those sleepless nights, it's not easy going through med school.
No.
I mean, I went through nursing school and NP school, and I know that it was like all those sleepless nights, all the criticism, all the fear, just the anxiety of like taking an exam and waiting the 24 to 48 hours to get your test, because you know that your whole career is based on this exam. Like, if you don't pass it, then you're back a semester. And if you fail it a second time, you're out of the program. All of this is like intense stress that we endure just to get to where we are. So for me personally, my success comes from, it's not the money, it's the drive. Like, I always wanted to have as much knowledge as I possibly can so I could be in a position to help as many people as I can. I'm an empath, I'm a giver, I'm a helper. I was never into social media. Actually, Hanun, I'm going to put you on the spot with when we were doing content today, the first time that Hanun came into my house, and she said to me, do you remember what you said to me? She said, "MashaAllah, you have such a beautiful home and such a beautiful lifestyle, but you never post." And I said, that's not who I'm about.
That's not who I am.
That's not who I am.
Yes.
That's my sanctuary for me and my children. I don't want
the world to see that.
Plus, I also really truly believe in karma, and I would never want to inadvertently hurt somebody who doesn't have, whose whole life, like, I don't know who's living in a basement apartment that wants to have a lifestyle, whose kids they can't afford. Because I did not grow up in a privileged home, and I was that child. And thank God it was an era where there was no social media. But I don't know how I would have felt if I would have seen, you know, someone always posting about their beautiful house and their home and their kids. And, you know, which chef do you have? Which nanny do you have? Which housekeeper do you have? Like, that's, I would never want to inadvertently hurt somebody in the process of doing it. Plus, you know, it's yours. It's not meant to be showcased.
Absolutely.
You know, and
I feel the
absolutely,
same. I feel the same. My social media girl, shout out to her because I love her. She always tells me, like, can I post like your car and your, no, I don't want to do that because that's, she's like, but this is going to get more views. I don't care. I want people to come because of the work and the education, the time that I invest in when I speak in my videos and I mark my face with markers. You guys watch my stuff. I don't know if you follow me. Like, that's what I want people to see. I don't care about all the other things.
Well, social media now is all about interest media, and it's about, like, again,
the views.
It's different.
But I feel like it's changing. I do
I
feel,
hope so.
I do
hate it.
see a little shift. I do
hate
think that
that.
people are starting to be aware of them being unhealthy.
Yes.
And I think there is a hunger for wellness.
That's why peptides are such a big thing now.
And you know what? Honestly, I think we were forced to be in that corner because our society made us so unhealthy. You know, like this whole, everyone grew up on McDonald's and fast food. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's very convenient. You just go in, you do it. Like, we're feeding our children, and now they're growing up and we're realizing, why do I need a knee replacement at the age of 40? Why am I a diabetic at the age of 40? Why am I having heart issues? And I can tell you, I work firsthand in a hospital. So many patients are coming in younger and younger with these issues. Morbid obesity is it's horrendous.
Well, we die in the United States. We die from more preventable diseases than anything else.
Yeah.
Just to tie back into finding, you know, purpose in your life and everything. There's a study done by Harvard where they followed these people around for their entire lives. And in the end, what they found, the study's still going on today, by the way. I think it started in the 1960s or something. And they found that people, what makes them happy? That's the question, like, what makes people happy? And it's meaning. It's having meaning in your life. It's not money. It's not bags.
When I was younger, there was this quote that my dad always used to send me. And it's the secret to happiness is something to do, someone to love, and something to look forward to.
Yeah, I love that.
And I believe that. Like,
That's true, yeah.
That, you know, someone to love, something to do, and something to look forward to.
Yeah,
and that's
but like genuine love. You know, you want the people in your circle that are there to be there because they genuinely care, not because of what you could provide for them.
Yeah.
Not because of, you know, like the bag you carry or what you look like. You know, you want people to be there. You want people genuinely to be there for you. And that's Hanu.
Well, I definitely have learned so much from the both of you. I want to thank you for taking the time to sit here and explain what you're, you know, how to become a baddie and adding all these things. And in the end, I think we're probably all in agreement that a baddie isn't what you have. It's really what you feel on the inside. And you use these tools to just really enhance and lead the best life that you can live for yourself, whatever that means for you. Because there's nothing is definitive. It's all subjective, I guess.
It's all subjective. You do what you're passionate about, the field that you like. You know, I have a lot of nursing students and PAs and people and girls like still going into this that want to do aesthetics, and I let them come and shadow me because I tell them, if you're not passionate about it and you don't like it, don't get into it, because it's not just the glitz and glam of doing Botox. You know, it's a responsibility. It's medicine. You know, it's sales, right? It's education. You're educating someone as to why they need something. They're looking to you. They're relying on your opinion. You need to have that in you. And, you know, I just had a student last week come in and she's shadowing me. And she's like, yeah, I see myself doing this. Like, I really like the vibe you have going here. And I said, this is all natural to me. I want you to understand that you cannot fake it. You have to have that in you. Do you think you have it in you? And she's like, I don't know. I think I have to shadow you a couple more times.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's
What if
the
somebody
point.
comes in, they're like, yeah, I can't wait to get that needle and start poking people. You're like, hold on.
Usually the people like that are looking for the money. I think
Yeah.
that you
Yes.
know this because their first conversation is how
Sales
much
pitch.
money does it make and this, and you'll never ever succeed. You might survive, but you're not going to succeed. You know, like that's what stands out.
One more question I thought of to ask you for lymphatic drainage. Do you do the cupping like with like acupuncture, or is that like not a thing? Is that separate?
Like the hijama therapy?
Hijama,
No.
Is that what they call it? I was like, yeah.
The
I
hijama,
thought-
yeah. No, that's like an Asian art. I love it. I've done it before for myself and it does work, but I don't
But
do
is it targeting the lymphatic when they do that? Or
No,
not?
that's
Okay.
that's more like gas release. It helps. Like I personally, like there's a lot of energy transfer from it when that happens.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's like it's a lot of, but you have to go to the right therapist. I would love to learn it. It's an art, but so one thing about me is I don't provide any service that I haven't done myself for years that I
Okay.
swear by. So if it's not there, and this is the reason why I don't provide Botox, I don't do that because that's not my passion. That's not my true north.
Yeah.
So
I
would
respect that.
you know, and it's like, and,
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, I've always said, and Hanen has heard me say this, like, I would look stupid if you came to me and I'm telling you, oh, you need your lips this size and fillers here, but I have nothing in my face, right? Like that's not, it's not like
You don't have to,
But
have
I wouldn't
it.
even know what to. I
Right.
wouldn't even know where
You're not
to start.
passionate
That's
Just
not
for-
my
just for
passion.
her
you
to
don't
feel
care
off,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. And
Just 'cause you
also
can do
same
it,
here
yeah.
because a lot of my patients are like, why don't you offer laser hair removal or these machines, or why don't you have lymphatic? Because I can have it all. I'm not passionate
You're not
about
passionate
it. I don't
about it.
care for
Yeah.
it. I don't.
Well, you can just get it and get somebody else to do it. Like, you're in your
No, because
office.
there's people like her that are, make it their whole,
Yeah.
passion. Why would I offer something I don't care for so much, even if I'm allowed to,
100%.
even if can bring it in and maybe make more revenue out of it? But that's not what I'm about, right? That's not what we're
Something that
about.
something that I teach my daughters is at a very young age is just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Because you
Because
can,
you
doesn't
have
mean
to
you should.
understand, like what we do is we are touching people's bodies and
Yes.
altering their bodies. Like if it's not something you care about, I personally,
Don't do it.
and I come with a lot of experience. I see it, but I know myself. Like one thing, and my daughter, if she listens to this, will probably laugh. I'm off with color palettes and symmetry. For whatever reason, I can't get like a line straight. Like that's just who I am naturally. And I would never feel comfortable doing that to someone's face. Like you should not have to suffer because I have the medical background and the license and
I
the
respect
degree
that.
that tells me to do it. But I know myself in
We
terms.
were just
This is
talking
me-
about that earlier.
Yeah, this is me looking in the mirror and saying, you know what, Nil? You
Stay true to yourself,
see,
yeah.
like it might be right. I like even before we started, I said, "Oh, this side, I feel like I look crooked. Like I don't want to do that to someone where I see straight or crooked, but you come out looking crooked."
yeah. That takes a lot of grace to,
Yeah.
You have to. That's why I say not every NP or RN or dentist or a doctor, whoever it is, should get into this industry. Are you passionate about it? Do you have the hand-eye coordination? Do you have the art? Do you have the eye? Do you have the skills?
Empathy.
It's a whole thing.
Absolutely.
Do you have the people
Empathy?
thing, that
Yeah,
aura?
that
Do you have
genuine-
that energy? Because trust me, that
Being able to
makes
listen
or
to people
breaks
and know
it.
what they're really asking.
Absolutely. Bedside manners. It's important.
Yeah.
People are electively coming to us. This is not something that their insurance is paying for.
Or like we didn't go to their doorstep, and I tell this to
Yeah.
people all the time. Like I didn't go to your house and grab you and tell you to come here.
Yeah,
you
they-
found this. So that's a responsibility.
That's a responsibility.
Yeah,
and
that-
when you come to me from start to finish, the way I speak to you, the knowledge I give you, the education, the service, the after, are you happy? That all has to be A1.
I love that.
Okay. And if you cannot deliver all these aspects, don't get into this industry, my industry.
100%. It's like,
But big responsibility. And, again, I have the people that I mentor, and I don't sugarcoat. I tell them, you don't have the personality. You can learn the skills. Maybe you can learn it with time. It's a
yeah.
skill. Do you have the personality for it? because that's
Right.
important.
Yeah.
And people tell me, oh, it's so competitive. How are you going to stand out? Guess what? Your personality, your aura, your integrity, your honesty. Are you being salesy? Are you being genuine?
Yeah.
They can pick
It
that
all
up.
matters.
Okay.
Well, ladies, I walk away with far more respect than I came in about learning about the Botox, the
Yeah,
fillers, the
thank
lymphatic
you.
massage. So I hope that, the audience, it resonates with them. And if they want to reach out to you guys, you can go ahead and give them your socials and see where they can find you.
Yes.
So we'll start with you. And
Mari Aesthetics. We're in Edgewater, New Jersey, and Staten Island, New York. I'm not accepting any new patients in Staten Island, unfortunately. But
say that a little louder. It was too low. Let them
I'm
know
not
you're not
accepting
accepting new patients.
any new patients in Staten Island, unfortunately. But I would love to see you in my Edgewater location. And you can follow us on Amari Aesthetics. And then my doctor page for more knowledge is Dr. Raynne. And yeah.
Can I just plug in your office in Egypt?
Oh, yeah. I have an office in Egypt, in Cairo.
That's where I'm going. I'm going to go to Cairo.
Are you coming?
But like,
No, I want
you
to.
can only book with
now
her when she's
I
there.
have a reason to go.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, I do have an office in Cairo. I don't practice there, but I do go. But hopefully we will be doing that soon. Maybe. I don't know if it's in the cards. But
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I try to
Habibti.
expand to
Maybe
the
we should all
Middle
go
East.
together.
I'll be there this summer. You're more than welcome to join me. I would love to have you guys.
And
And
we're
where could people find?
at the Body Club Englewood.
All right,
That's
at the
it.
Body Club
At
Englewood.
At the Body
And I'll
Club
link
in
everything
Englewood, New
below.
Jersey.
On Instagram. I don't have a personal page. Maybe I should open up a lymphatic personal page, but you just inspired me.
Yes, absolutely. Share
but-
your knowledge.
Yes, it's very important.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
very important.
Well, education is important. And definitely, we'll leave it on that note on how to become a baddie. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing
Thank
everything
you
you got to
so
say in the
much.
comments below. And until next time, Lymph!